Hi, Daria. I want to first thank you for allowing me to come in and interview you today because, as a realtor, I do have a lot of sellers who have questions about their rights in property. And so, basically, I would like for you to shed a little bit of light on what a couple's rights are in property during a divorce proceeding.
Okay.
All right. So, what are some of the common issues that you see in a divorce proceeding when real estate is involved?
I think the biggest issue when we're talking about the sale of a marital residence, for example, is what is premarital and what is considered marital property. A lot of times people come into a marriage with property that was owned prior to the marriage. So that is something that has to be addressed throughout the divorce process, and that can get sticky depending on the situations. But defining what is premarital as it relates to contributions to a marital residence is a huge issue.
And so, do you have some suggestions that may help our sellers make the sale of real estate during the process as smooth as possible?
Sure. I think the biggest piece of advice would be if you're going to list the marital residence for sale as part of the divorce, is that you list out with specificity all of the terms of the sale to avoid conflict down the road. So, for example, we have settlement agreements where people have identified with by name a particular realtor, such as yourself, to avoid fighting over who is going to control the sale or be the realtor for the sale. I would list out an agreed upon value of the home. Things, terms like that come across or that are issues throughout the divorce process need to be identified. Every detail, such as who's going to stay in the home, who's going to control the sale of the home. Oftentimes in a divorce situation, one of the spouses has left the marital residence, so now you're left with a person who's in the marital residence. Are they going to have control of the sale of the home? Can the person who has left the home come back in the home? All of those types of things come into play when we're talking about selling a marital residence. So I would list all of that in any kind of divorce agreement that you reach.
Let me ask you this. Does Georgia recognize community property?
Sure, yes. In Georgia, we call it marital property, and marital property can be divided by a judge in Superior Court, depending on which county you live in. And marital property is defined as anything purchased during the marriage. So, for example, a home, a car, even a television. If it was acquired during the marriage, the court will consider that marital property, and thus it is subject to division.
You certainly brought out some very good points, and I'm sure it's going to spark more questions from our viewers. So if you would please let them know how they can contact you, maybe for a consultation, or if they have any questions.
I can be reached at the Wise Law Firm. My firm phone number is 404-973-9308, or you can email me directly at wise@wiselawfirm.com, and I offer a 1-hour free consultation, and I'm happy to help.
Well, I would like to thank you for tuning in today. We know that divorce can be a tedious process, as you've just heard, the different scenarios that can come up, and hopefully we've answered some of your questions today. Tune in for the next segment about investment. How can you make that a smooth transition? Until next time, thank you.